The old people back again. Usual time, usual place. DG's back in the building, blood, and Giroud's banging hat tricks and that. What are you saying, fam?
They are, man. They are. I haven't been here so long. I didn't even clock the intro. I thought, what's happening here?
Yeah, bro. Nah, it's calm, man. Matisse, what are you saying, bro?
I'm telling you, the intro slaps. I'm telling you, bro. And the thing is, I had to get my own intro as well. You know, no one's there. I was like, I had my stream there just there, little clip the intro. I was like, yeah, this is Rants' business. Like,
Matisse is feeling himself, but he got a haircut and look at you feeling yourself.
I got one yesterday. I had a little shoot. I was like, let me just get a little ting.
Nobody's never stopped smiling when their hair's cut. Like,
man got the straight out of lockdown trim, you know, like that.
Yo, literally on the same day, I was like, yo, I'm gone.
You're trying to get them H changer messages, bro.
Trust me, bruv. Nah, it's been a mad thing still. It's been a mad thing. Obviously, Champions League yesterday, and your guys is doing bits. I didn't watch the game. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the game because obviously I was watching our game. But bruv, man was like, I just kept seeing things pop up. Giroud scored again, and I was like, Giroud scored again. I was like, yo, what kind of shit is this, blood? It's all mad. And you know what? I have always rated that blood. That's what's pissed me off the most because I'm like, bruv, when Arsenal got rid of him, I was like, are you sure, blood? And then even now, like, I believe that if you brought Giroud on earlier against Tottenham, you would have beat them, bruv.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I was so frustrated because Frank wouldn't make the change. And I said this on my own review is that Giroud is the perfect guy for those near post headers, those near post shots, because he has a way of angling his body where he gets a toe on it and he clips it in at the near post. And that's not Tammy Abraham's strong suit. That's not his strength. He's good at many things, Tammy, but he's not good in the air, and he's not good at those, you know, when the crosses are flashed across the box at real pace, whether that be in the air or even on the ground. He hasn't got the anticipation to meet it, or he doesn't time his run. He doesn't have the timing of the technique to really make a solid connection. And Giroud does. And I think we knew Jose Mourinho was going to set up a low block. We knew he was going to park the bus in the second half. He did. You know, he came for a point. Tottenham go back on the top of the league. It was written. And for me, Giroud would have scored those. He would have at least put those opportunities on target, and we could have potentially got a winner. So it was extremely frustrating. But you know, last night he was incredible, man. I can't speak highly enough of the man because he's such a professional. He gets no game time. Like last season, he was behind Batshuayi for like 2/3 of the season. I was like, this is a disgrace to football. But eventually he gets in after lockdown. And then this season again, third choice, you know, he's going to be France's all-time leading goal scorer for his country soon. He plays so well at international. And yesterday he was perfect, you know, perfect hat trick, and then, you know, put the pen in the top corner. Every finish was just oozing of quality. The left foot scooped, the right foot dink, and then, you know, the header blasted in like Drogba. So I can't speak highly enough of him. And there's rumors that he could potentially go in January because he's not getting enough game time, which is completely understandable. Chelsea need to do all they can to keep him for the season, because if he goes in January, we are 100% going to downgrade, and we're missing something then on our team, which is an aerial threat and someone who can hold the ball up consistently. Right now, we have a really good blend of strikers. You know, Werner, Tammy, and Giroud. They all, none of them are like, for me, like one of the top 5 strikers in the world, but they have different attributes that make them complete and bring things to the team where we can say we're not missing anything. But if you get rid of Giroud, you're missing something hugely. So keep him to the end of the season, and then we can have a discussion about him going.
Yeah, bro. Did you get to see any of Giroud's goals, DG?
Yeah, man. I mean, with Giroud, I mean, it's what every Arsenal fan knows. It's almost cool and fashionable to like Giroud now. I mean, he's always had this quality. This is something Arsene Wenger's always liked about him. You know, he always responds to adversity. You know, he's been in and out the Chelsea team, been in and out the Arsenal team and whatnot. He's the classic case of what I'm speaking about. When you look at Cavani, when you look at him, when you look at people underrate the aspect of having a plan B striker. You need them in your squad. You need a backup striker. That's going to be Chelsea's problem with him, because from a selfish point of view, Giroud needs to go out and play football. You know, you hear every year he's not playing football, and there's the whole France business. They're speaking about the Euros. So he needs to play football. But like Meti said, from a selfish point of view, they've got to keep him for the season. You see the strengths. The problem is Giroud isn't a 38 goal a game forward, and that's what people use that to beat him with a stick with. But he's fantastic in the squad. You see what he does for France. He gets the best out in players. He scores vital goals. You know, arguably if he was playing 10 or so years ago, well, I say 10, it's not 10. If he's playing like 20 now, when it was 4-4-2 days, there might be a more appreciation of him. You know, people have underestimated his technical ability for a while. It's only like now, suddenly in the last 18 months, you realize the man's a baller. So yeah, man, and he scored like Matisse said. I can't add anything, man. He did very well against Seville. He got a start. You know, he gets his head down. He whines a bit. You know, a lot of French players are very vocal and diplomatic, but he gets on with it and he took his chance. And now Tammy has to fix up. Werner has to score goals. So competition is always good.
Yeah, bro. Giroud's a baller, bro. And the thing is, yeah, like, man has seen it bare. Man has seen it bare. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what it is, yeah? Especially because he's a throwback kind of target man, and also because he's not got typical pace. So because of that, people just rub him out, bro. But man know what his strengths are, bro. The amount of times you see him do that little near post run, finish with the outside of the left foot, blood. You see it. Yeah, bro, you see it so often, bro. Like, there's so many things that he does that shows his quality as well. His link-up play is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Link-up play is an absolute joke, bro. If you put pace around Giroud, yeah, France, you'll see the best of him. And France is an example. The reason why he starts for France, yeah, is because he glues everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And people don't respect that enough in the modern game. In the modern game, it's all about pace. And like this guy said, why do you think Lampard don't rate him? I think it's the pace thing, bro. Like, that can only be that because he's a better footballer than Abraham. I don't even think it's a conversation.
No, he is definitely a better footballer, and that's no disgrace to Abraham because Giroud is much older, and I don't think at Abraham's age Giroud was how he is now. He's obviously improved, but it is pace. It is pace because Lampard wants to press from the front, you know, much like Klopp, and he wants to, you know, be on the front foot in terms of getting the ball back as high up the pitch as possible, and that is the one thing where you would say that's not Giroud's strength. You know, he's not a quick striker. And I have no problem with that. You know, I have no problem with that. But he has to be involved more. And I think I sympathize with Lampard because we're in testing times with the pandemic. And it's difficult to, you've got 3 subs, right? And you need to save one until the very end. Because if you don't, someone goes down injured and then it's a problem. So that already, again, limits his opportunities to get off the bench. If we had 5 subs, like we should, then he would be getting more game time. I know Lampard definitely rates him because I found out because I really did want to know. Like you guys, I was like, this is ridiculous. Why is he not getting more game time? This is the guy who leads the line for France. But it is a matter of pace. It's a matter of I rate him, but at the same time, he is on one of them phone contracts like year to year. Do you know what I mean? He is going to go, and we have to also protect the future in, you know, Abraham, who's a very young, you know, very valuable striker. He's getting goals at this level, but he's also English, so you know the English tax comes with that. And also Werner, and Tammy hasn't signed a new contract yet, so there's a lot going on. The other 2 have been scoring goals, but Giroud just brings something different to the team, and we need to try and get the best out of him and try and use him more for the rest of the season, because there is going to come a point where if we get rid of him in January, I have no doubts there's going to be a point at the end of the season. Because people are talking about replacements and they're talking about Mitrovic. I'm like, this is not even close. Like, that's the biggest downgrade of all time. That's dead. Like, it's dead. It's dead food. And if we get rid of him in January, no doubts about it, at the end of the season, we will pay. In some way, shape, or form, we will pay. Because at the end of last season, he came in clutch and he started all the games after lockdown and he was on form. So if we don't keep him, we will pay him. And that will be the difference between winning a trophy and not winning a trophy, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I big up everyone watching Twitch, gang. Make sure you follow or subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you follow the Twitch and make sure you subscribe to the Mandem. The link for their pages are in the title, so just click that and you can subscribe while you're watching this. It won't take you away from the page. My man here said one thing, and that's what I mean. Giroud, blood. You see, when man signed Agallo, I was like, fam, if you want to bring in a Premier League player that's gonna come in and do something, just bag him, bro. Like, he's a baller. I don't get it, bro. Like, I really don't get it. Like, the Lampard thing, clearly it's a pace thing, yeah. But you've got so much pace around him, yeah. With players like Ziyech, bro. Imagine if Ziyech has got Giroud to put the ball in the box to every game, bro. You know what his distribution's like. Players like Pulisic like to link with big men that hold the ball. Hazard loved playing off, man. Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Players
Players like that
more as well. Like, Giroud ain't trying to hang on to that.
Bro, Giroud is a two-touch player most of the time. Like, he's literally an attacking player's dream, bro. Playing with someone like that, because you know every time he gets the ball, he's looking to give it to you. He's not going to turn head down and charge with it. That's not his game. So everyone around him is on their toes when that ball gets fizzed into him. Like, he's a top professional, and not only does he get on with it off the pitch, when he comes on, more often than not, he makes an immediate impact as well, bro. Like, more times he comes off the bench and bags, bro.
He does. He's a clutch guy, and you know, people, and there's a comment there saying, you know, Lampard doesn't rate him, allow it. The thing is that last season it was a disgrace. Like, I'm not one to sugarcoat it. Him being behind Batshuayi last season for as long as he was a disgrace, and like Lampard should have clocked way earlier that he was levels above Batshuayi. But like I keep saying, he does definitely rate him. Like, Lampard played with Drogba. He understands the valuable asset of having someone who can head the ball, someone who can hold the ball up, win fouls on the halfway line. He played the game, and he played with a striker. He played off a striker like that. So he understands the valuable, you know, the value in having a striker like that. I think, like I said, though, he wants to press, and that's overriding, you know, that the hold up play right now. That's what he's going to. For me, as long as he just needs to use Giroud more, you know, utilize him better. He doesn't use him enough. And against Tottenham is the perfect example. Should have came on way earlier, didn't, and that might be why we didn't get the 3 points, because Abraham was missing chances. Do you know what I mean? I have to say how it is. Reece James was smashing them across, and I'm never really confident when balls come into the box from Reece James that Abraham's going to score, because he's got a lot of good things in his game, but that is his weakness. You know, Reece James is a very efficient crosser. For him to only have 1 assist this season is a joke. For me, he's one of the best crossers in the league. So we need to, when we're coming up against a low block like that, we need to understand that maybe someone like Giroud is the perfect guy for that. You know, someone who can hold up the ball. He played against Tottenham at home last season and we won, and he scored. So these are not new things I'm saying. This is stuff where we know Jose Mourinho is going to be defensive. We know there's not maybe going to be space in behind. We know we can maybe utilize crossing. We've got Ziyech. We've got Reece James. Take advantage of that. I'm not saying he had to start the game, because I understand Tammy was on form, but clock what's going on and make the change a bit earlier for me. And in that game, it was a bit of a tactical, you know, back and forth between him and Mourinho. We didn't want to give up too much to lose too much. So I understand not changing the midfield shape. You know, he wanted to keep things solid. He didn't want to lose the game. You know, DG will know better than me. Losing a game at home, you know, losing any game to Tottenham, it doesn't run with Chelsea and Arsenal fans. You know what I mean? War. It's not a thing. So it burns us differently. So Lampard knows that. So I understand the cautiousness. But bringing on Giroud for Abraham wasn't a cautious thing. It's a striker for a striker. So I was just disappointed he didn't see that change earlier. But as long as we start using Giroud more, then I'll be a happy man. And yeah, he's been brilliant.
This brother's saying that Lamp's still rate, man. And he only played him because of injury and that. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one.
So yeah, like I said, I think Frank is an intelligent guy, and I think when you've played with Drogba, it's just not possible for you to not rate Giroud. I know Drogba had some pace, but there's still fundamental things in Drogba's play: winning fouls on the halfway line, heading ability. Do you know what I mean? In game intelligence, there's similar traits. The pace is probably the one thing that differs. Do you know what I mean?
You know what messes it up for Giroud? Sorry to cut you off. It's the fact that he's a France international player, you know, because I don't think Lampard thinks the world of him, but I agree with what Mitty said is that, like, he's different, you know. If you're gonna have a bunch of small techie players, fair enough, Tammy's 6 foot plus, you need someone that can do that. I think he'd be cool for him out of a 38 game, having him on the squad. The problem is Giroud wants to start games and he wants to play for France. He wants to do what every footballer has. You know, gone are the days where you can find these sort of guys that are just happy to sit on the bench, and that's probably what goes against him, and why, like he said, it's not that he doesn't rate him, it's that he prefers other things, and he just simply can't offer Giroud in an ideal world the amount of football he wants to. I saw someone mention a comment about Pulisic, and that gave me something to think about, because as an outsider looking in, it looked like last season Pulisic might not get a game under Lampard, and he proved the point. I think the Giroud one is a bit different. I think Lampard knows Pulisic is a baller, but there's something he's not convinced with. I think he can appreciate Giroud, but it's like, I'm trying to do other things. You're like you said, it's short term kind of using Giroud. It just goes against Giroud that he wants to play for France. Really, that's the whole point of him leaving Arsenal as well.
And to add to your point there, like I'm not saying it's politics, but Tammy also has a very good goal ratio this season to his minutes. We have to say that as well. So it's not like Tammy's not playing well, but also, like we said before, you've got two players, one who's going to be leaving at some point, you know, in the next couple of years, and another one who is borderline potentially here for the next decade if you can improve on his attributes. And Giroud and Tammy have a very good relationship. You see, you know, Tammy hugging him when Giroud's come off the pitch there at the end, when he comes off for the sub. That those two get along very well, and I wouldn't be surprised if Giroud is trying to teach Tammy those little nicks and tricks before he does leave. Yeah, he has to. He's got to be doing that for us. But you have to. We're in a time where market value, especially in this pandemic and clubs being hit financially and whatnot, market value is huge, and everybody knows Tammy is more valuable than Giroud right now. English tax,
that's a fact.
The top scorer last season for us in the Premier League.
But that is English, bro.
He's English, exactly. And then on top of that, he's scoring goals at this level. He's got goals this season as well. So you have to keep that. You can't let that go. You can't have a situation where Tammy and Giroud go.
And he got contract.
Yeah, contract business is still not sorted. So we're still waiting. We got to get him to sign on the dotted line. So there's a lot going on. Do you know what I mean? There's more to just like flat out Frank don't rate him. That's not what it is. Do you know what I mean?
But that's for the manager to actually manage, bruv. Like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because like this brother saying Giroud held up the ball for Hazard and that, and he's talking about Diego Costa, bro. Diego Costa was a different kind of player. That he bullied man, he backed into man, and he could turn and run with it as well. You know, someone's like, Giroud's not that. But when it's pure finesse link play, bro, Giroud's one of the best that I've seen, period, bro, in terms of playing up front, bringing people into play, bro. He's a different animal. And between him, Ziyech and Werner, you've got the perfect balance of a front three there. Do you know what I mean? You've got Werner who's going to run in behind. You got Ziyech that can put the ball in the box, and Giroud that can finish it and link it, bro. There's nothing missing there. There's nothing missing there. You don't need three man with pace. You don't need it, because the guy in the middle, if it's Tammy Abraham, more things don't break down with Giroud. If you give him the ball, you get it back.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone gets it back.
That's his game.
Someone gets it back, blood. I don't see man play the ball into Giroud and he's tripping over it and like, nah. You give him the ball.
I used to happen in certain other colours. I can't even cap where.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I've seen Giroud breezing down left wing, but I've seen some mad stuff in my.
See, but you man had a younger Giroud. You know what I'm saying?
This is a more polished, like fuller, well-fed.
You had a younger Giroud. When you bought him, there wasn't even no one in for him. I remember
we just had a Giroud that smoked. We just had a team that smoked Budge collectively, man.
That's it. When you had Giroud and you signed him, yeah, when you signed Giroud, no one else was in with it. Wasn't no flipping.
It was a Wenger love
transfer battle. No one else wanted him. I think he got him for like 9 M's or something.
Exactly, something mad. No, 12 million. Nobody is happier for Giroud than Arsene Wenger. That man. That is everything Arsene Wenger talks about. You know, he came into the game late. There was a debate if he's going to be a baller. You know, he weren't exactly always great in an Arsenal shirt. I remember a game against Monaco. You know, the problem that was always with Giroud is something Lampard wants to avoid, in that you're relying on Giroud. Like, Giroud's the man you're looking at. Starting striker for me, I don't know about anyone else, means 20 league plus, you know. And in a day and age, people still credit that. Giroud isn't going to come with that. He might get a 10 or 12 or to be nice, but they're going to be vital games. Games you thought you was losing. Big games, like Matisse said. And what Giroud's always been, and like Rants said, he's getting older now. He's always been street smart because of his skill set. It's limited, but he gets the best out of what he can do. And he's just got better with age. He's come into the game late. He's doing his thing. And that's why I think the Inter Milan rumours that someone put in a comment is interesting, because he's come into the game late. Go Italy, that puts an extra couple years on your game. It'd be interesting. But I think even the same thing would happen to him at Inter. He'd still play, but the same thing would happen to him. You got Lukaku in him. Fair enough, Lukaku isn't slow, but they're kind of the same thing. And in Lukaku's link-up play obviously isn't to that level, even though it's improved.
Yeah, but would he be a starter at Inter?
Probably not.
You can't play him and Lukaku. I think
that's
what
I'm
saying.
No.
Yeah,
we know how much Conte loves Lukaku.
Yeah, there's not enough mobility to play them both. Do you know what I'm saying? The one thing I do know is that Giroud bags hella goals there.
Yeah,
hella goals there. But him and Lukaku together, nah,
it doesn't.
I think that don't make sense.
How much goals do you think he'll grab if he started? Like if he started,
if he starts for Inter, he'll bag 30 goals in that league comfortably, bro. Like in all comps,
I should jump for him.
You think so?
All comps 30, bro. In Italy, easy for Giroud, bro. Like, bro, he'll score a goal a game in that league, bro. I'm seeing Ashley Young bagging goals. I think Dallo bagged on his debut and that. Like, Dallo bagged from left back and that, bro. Like, that league's not serious. That's why man call it the European MLS, bro. That's the Liga Lasagna, bro. That's what it is, bro.
The thing is with Giroud is that he's never had pace, so he doesn't have to rely on it. Those type of players never really diminished. Do you know what I mean? Players that didn't have pace, so they never have to rely on it, and I've always relied on their technical ability first and foremost. Never really, you know what I mean? Look at Ibrahimovic. That brother never had pace. Look at him; he's top scorer in Serie A because like nothing's changed. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're 40." He's looking at you like, "Bro, nothing's changed."
He uses the same thing he always used, bro. Do you know what I mean? You can't miss something you never had.
Yeah, literally.
That's just what it is. He's built his whole career. He's built his whole thing around not having pace anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, bruv. The first couple yards are in your head. And that's why intelligent footballers, are always the last to die, bro. Because even injuries can't kill them.
Someone said João Felix bouncing off Giroud. That would be mad.
João Felix is my driller, bro. Like,
he's doing his thing today.
He is wild. I don't care. He's the wildest baller man seen in a while. He's wild.
He makes you enjoy the game again. You know what I mean?
He's a proper throwback footballer. He plays like he's on the road still. You know that man, still on the road, lad. But he's a big man with kids and contracts and that, and he's moving to them. You know what I'm saying? He's a rude youth, bro. He's proper rude with it, bro. I love that. Do you know what I'm saying? So Giroud there would do bits, bro. But honestly, I just think Giroud's so intelligent. If you're seeing all these old 40-year-old man top scoring that league, he'll bad it up. He'll bad it up, bro. Do you know what I mean? And especially if he's in a team that put the ball into the mixer, he's good in the air, he's good at the near post. Bro, he's scoring goals for fun, bro, because physically he can look after himself as well. And he's not going to go to a league that's more physical than this one. So I think wherever he goes, it's a new lease of life for him. And his injury record is decent as well.
Man, them in the chat are just playing mix and match. Imagine Zaha playing off him. Imagine this guy. It's true, man. Anybody playing off this brother will get it,
anyone with pace playing off Giroud is loving life, bro.
100.
It's facts. 100. You're loving life, bro.
He's the perfect guy to play off. Perfect.
Bro, any player that can hold the ball, and bring you into play, is a godsend, bro. Especially when you're someone with pace. If you're someone with pace, someone that's going to glue the thing, bro, it's heaven, because then you can just play facing the goal all the time because he's playing facing you. So you're calm, bro. Like, quick players, they don't want to play with their back to goal, bro. They don't really want to. So when you've got a player like Giroud, it means you never have to, bro.
Dare I speak of the devil, but Nicolas Pepe.
There you
exactly what he needs.
Still won't even play to his strengths, man. You need to play 1-2s amongst each other if you want to score a goal, man.
The link play, exactly. And again, you're a striker. No link play. He's just a finisher. So because of that, you need a striker like that to kind of build off, bro. You need a pivot up front, bro. Like that's what Firmino is. He's a pivot. So when people talk about, you don't score enough goals, bruv, Klopp still picks him.
He's not there for that.
Klopp's the best manager in the world, bro, and he still picks, man, every game. Jota came in banging goals. Firmino still plays. You know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously, man's doing something in it, something that's not on your little spreadsheet. So it's one of them ones where, bro, you need a pivot up front. You need it. You always need a pivot, bro. And that's exactly what he is. And that's where the modern game's gone. The pivot's down the middle, and your goal scorers, your strikers are out wide, man. Like,
it's mad.
As soon as people understand that, then they can stop talking rubbish.
There's not many of them left in the game, is there, though? There's not many of these guys that can do the job well like this.
No, but he's a throwback version.
Bought by United. That's why Agallo went to United. That's why, you know, even with Lacazette, I think he should go. And I'm not trying to defend Lacazette, but anyways, I can understand why he might stay and be allowed to just stay at the club, because you need out of a free. We talk about free strikers. You need 4. You need 3 up front, and you need that other option. Some days it's not going to work for Giroud. It's clearly not going to happen. Other days, you know what we've been talking about. And it's unlucky. They're a dying breed. You know, people wouldn't buy the sort of caliber strikers that you're seeing being bought if they didn't value them. You know, Spurs the other day went and brought a striker in, don't know his name, the Brazilian lad, because people underestimate how much you need a striker. Even Liverpool tried to buy one with Werner once upon a time. So people underestimate it, man.
It's true.
This is it, bruv. This guy's funny. Man, like, bruv, I take the piss out of most players, bro. That doesn't mean anything.
Very little Osman.
Bruv, I take the piss out of any player, yeah. I take the piss out of any player that has a bad game or plays against my team, even if they're good. They only need to have one bad game and I'm running an agenda.
And agendas have run, yeah.
Straight, bruv.
That's what people don't get. That's what people don't get.
Bruv, I need to see man
have big accounts,
you know,
are allowed to run agendas when they want sometimes. You know what I mean? It's not all you man that get to have all the fun. Sometimes I'm just in my. Sometimes I don't want to be objective. I'm just in my feelings and I want to run a quick little agenda. You know what I mean? It don't happen often, but let me do it once or twice a year at least.
Bruv, man needs to miscontrol the ball once, and I'm onto him. I don't care. You don't play for my team. You don't play for my team. I'll run the agenda straight off the bat. I'll be like, this is the you man were telling me about. Nah, it's dead. It's dead.
So true.
So true. Bro. Man do it all the time, bro. Like, man, there has to be leeway for that, blood. You know, like, there has to be leeway for that. If man can't run agendas, what's the point of this football Twitter thing anyway, bro?
It's actually so true.
Some idiot thing, bro. And 100%. You look at Mbappe as well. Like, I watched him yesterday. Them man are screaming out for a Giroud up front. PSG, blood. Neymar would love it. Mbappe would love it.
Oh, imagine.
These players are so underrated, bro, and they're dying. They're dying in the game, bro.
Gone, man.
Everything's about stats. It's about running numbers. It's about pressing to the point.
Large shoulders.
Yeah, they're just signing athletes now, bro. They're not signing man with feet, bro. They're not signing man that can actually link play, bro. They got Moise Kean, bro. What they really need is Giroud up there, bro.
True, because you know Neymar loves to fizz the ball in and make that run around the corner. That's literally Giroud. Do you know what I mean? You're right. You know, that's actually a move. PSG needs to smarten up. That's the move.
Oi, this is a great chat, guys. You lot see Bowyer complaining that the fans back in the ground were too negative. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Prem teams. What do you think the feeling will be at the Emirates tonight? Firstly, I don't believe that they should allow fans back into the stadium until everyone's allowed, because that's not fair. Secondly, bruv, because there's less man in there, you're hearing everything now. I don't care. You see the factory.
You need that. You need that. I don't know why Bowyer's being a yatty, man. I don't know why he's doing that, because you lot cried when fans got locked off. Every club did a statement. We can't wait till the fans are back. What did you think this was going to last forever? Like, if we're here, we're here. Like, if you play crap, you deserve to hear it. Now you're for Arsenal again. Therefore, going to hear things, and certain players are at that stage. I don't condone abuse, but they need to hear certain truths. Like, you need to hear it. It's not Sunday League. Make sure you play well so you don't get drawn out. Simple as that. Bowyer's only complaining because I ain't got their results to hand. But they obviously didn't get a result they wanted, or it didn't go every way. That's why he's complaining. Because if they were losing, they came from behind, he'd say he loved the fans. It would be interesting to see tonight, because Arteta, our own coach, has said we need the fans back. If the fans were there against Leicester, against Leeds, against Wolves, etc., right, against Villa, it might not have been good. So get back to it. What do they think this is? It's nonsense. I mean,
man said they lost 1-0 and the fans were rubbing him out. This is what happened. Bruv, it's probably not their first loss as well. Like, these men got too comfortable playing behind closed doors and not getting told about themselves. That's what it was.
Lidge, you're professional footballers, man. Just air that. You should be able to just focus on the game. I'm not saying it's easy, but you've been around the block now. Bowyer, you've been trying to fight your teammates on the field, so you're not afraid of what fans say. So I can't see that from that sort of man. He's just making excuses. Boy, it's not safe for Xhaka. Hector Bellerin, it can get long. Boy, I don't like scapegoating, but it can get long for a lot of men.
It can get long for him. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, because even yesterday, you could hear Bruno shouting at Oli, telling him to make a sub and that. You know, yeah, bro. Man are losing, Rashford's limping, and he's screaming at the bench and like saying, "Yo, blood, like change the thing. What's wrong with you?" You know them.
He don't rate Oli clearly, man.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
You know when you got the audacity to tell your manager what to do, you don't rate him like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when he's doing that to the manager, you got to understand, yeah. You see, when the fans get in there, bro, they're gonna start cooking some ball.
It's long.
Man are getting cooked, you know.
Long.
Remember when you used to play as a youth, like when you used to play in the morning, you used to hear the parents on the side, fam.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be like, blood.
Yeah,
man getting ran. You know, you're gonna see 1-2 disaster classes. I'm telling you, so that man are gonna get rattled.
Made of guys are gonna start freezing up. People are going to see how psychological football is and really what they mean when they say which players are soft and that player is soft, because you're going to have to air it. Like, oh my God. You see, he's our second joint top goal scorer. So you just know Arsenal's in a fuckery right now. Like, the smile's gone off my face. Let's talk about something more neutral, man.
Bruv. We have to address the elephant in the room, blood.
Why didn't I come back when United were
I can't even laugh, yeah, because my goalkeeper's won 4 player of the seasons or something like that. So, but my goalkeeper, innit? So man knew it was, bruv. You know, like that. It's a mad thing. When you get into a shootout and the man of the match is the bulletproof vest and that, like, you know them ones. That's what it is, blood. That's what I had in it with the hair in goal, blood, winning player of the season again and again and again. Know what I'm saying? What go for your team, blood?
Did it a goal of the month not go to Aubameyang or something?
Huh?
A goal of the month not go to Aubameyang for the penalty or something?
Yeah, we're not scoring from open. In fact, we scored from open play last game, so things are getting better, man. But we're not scoring from open play. Our centre half, you know, shout out to Gabriel, one of the few players who cares. He's joint second goal scorer. You know, my manager, as much as I like him, he's talking about 33 crosses. We've actually played 36, and only 3 of them have hit a man. We're just lacking ideas. We're just in free fall. It's just, again, of players just chatting and not doing it. I feel Arteta deserves a lot of excuses, but at the same time making things harder than it needs to be. Been here 10 months, not seeing a building block. Like I said in my stream yesterday, I'm not expecting Arteta to show me curry goat and rice, but I need to go into the kitchen and smell seasoning. You know, things are being filled. I know a mad thing is coming, in it. I haven't seen that. There's a lot of luxuries he can be afforded, but it just ain't been good enough. And it's like, whether Arsenal win, lose or draw, it's the same 7 names max that you're talking about collectively throughout the squad who do this thing. And you all know you need a 25 man and they're not on it. So it's just the same. We've got a false place of complacency, I think, with the players. You know, we had that feel-good factor when Arteta came in, won the FA Cups. They came in thinking it was something different, and, you know, we've just been slapped in the face. It's the definition of insanity is, you lot know, doing the same thing again and again and thinking things are going to change. Didn't show no tactics in pre-season, didn't buy no one. We're here and we're gonna beat the team. We're gonna beat United and do these sort of games in isolation. But over 38 games, you know, we're coming 8th or at best. I'm praying to God for 6th now, and we're starting that talk about can we win Europa League? We all know how that one turns. So yeah, man, the less Arsenal, the better, man. It's a mad.
You know what it is, yeah? I remember the last time I was chatting, or probably not last time, but I remember a conversation with you, DG, where we were speaking about our clubs and the lack of defense and the lack of leaders and communication and whatnot, and how we could relate. And the way nothing changed at your club, like, it's mad. It's the same convo. It's the same conversation.
You can take man to, you can give man water, but you can't force man to drink, bro. Like, people don't want to listen. Arteta's got all his things wrong sometimes, but when I hear him in the press conferences before the games and he's talking about the opposition, and I'm actually deep in, are these players gonna heed in it? They don't. And I've seen some comments. He's drawing man out. He said, "I want to play 4-3-3. I think we haven't got 5, 6, 7 names that we need." If I'm one of them players, I'm feeling disgusted. Like, I'm making sure I fix up. Saka had a poor game against Wolves, but realistically, Saka can never be drawn out. He's owed us a bad game. I feel sorry for him because when he has a bad game, who does he look to? If I'm these experienced players, I'm looking around in absolute disgrace. If I'm Willian, if I'm Xhaka, if I'm Ceballos, specifically, as well as Bellerin, you're making your manager look stupid for picking you because he's backing you, he's continuously coming out and backing you to where it's like now you're looking at Arteta like you can't even be mad at the players anymore. They're still playing the same old way. You never get. I remember the last time I was here, I said you never get the vibe Arsenal want to win a football game. You know, they never want to win it, and this is it. But what's all of this, brother? Forget all our day. There's 38 Premier League games. It's not going to be your day every time. You need to do the scummy things sometimes. We haven't been doing that. We've improved defensively, but it's inflated. You know, we're still shipping goals. We're not scoring. What we're doing is not sustainable. People talk about we play a back 5. We're going to be negative. We're going to be open. Obviously, a direct consequences of changing the formation is, but it's a problem for Arsenal because we've got naive defenders anyways, and obviously the lack of creativity is because we don't have patterns of play. If Liverpool were to go to a back 3 tomorrow, Obviously, there'll be problems. Or City, but they're forward. They still want to go forward. We just got issues, man. Bare issues. And like I said, we just have to hope for 6th to 8th, man. This is what we're on. Hopefully, like, I'm even mad.
And the thing is, as well, is that the reason why I remembered our convo is because Chelsea obviously rotated all of their back four yesterday. Like, there was players in that defense that I do not rate. In fact, 3 out of the 4 of them I don't rate. Emerson, Christensen, Rudiger. But the fact that they were still able to keep the clean sheet, and I think one of the pivotal reasons was bringing in defensive coach Anthony Barry. I don't know what kind of coaching staff does Arteta have with him? Like, has he got any experience, man, to lean on?
This is the thing. When you look at,
he's got flipping LVG's number 2.
Yeah, bro. When I look at
Steve Brown, brother.
When I look, I want experience. Yeah, you said he's got Steve Brown, he's got Steve Brown, but it's like, are these man telling him like what he's doing wrong? Because we knew this man didn't know what he's doing. We knew, I still back him, but you knew he's gonna make mistakes. You knew he's a novice. This is why I'm looking at people above him, surround him with man that have been around this, that can tell him you're moving mad. I don't want yes men. Like, what I don't understand, like when I don't even harp on about Saliba, but we've got someone who's an individual improvement coach or something like that. How are we not seeing consistent improvement? What's the coordination with these players? Because we got a small little bounce when Arteta came in, like a new manager, and we're back here. You know, we haven't surrounded him with anything. You know, like you said, he's got Ollie's back room. You know, I'm seeing man manage at Arsenal and then go and do Wales in international break. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's an issue, man. Our team's just scarred. And like you said, Matisse, we're not learning from mistakes. The comment that was up there said something along the lines of, is he backing them or has any other options? Obviously, he has no other options at the moment. But what I mean by backing is that he's playing you. You know, if the world is telling you you're shit and your manager is believing in you, put in a performance. So you're spitting in his face. You know, if Willian scored 2 goals in the second half or whatever, he could at least stick a middle finger up to the fans. He's not on none of that. The play, like, as much as Arteta, can harp on about Arteta, and you know, we can talk about him going or not because I'm not on either side. The players got to stand up to be counted. But I mean, we've all played football here. Your manager can tell you stuff, but you don't need to go out there and know if what's going to happen if you lose. The players don't play for themselves, man. You don't forget the fans, forget the club. You got to want to put performance in you. You're telling me your mother raised bare of you to go to the Emirates on Sky Sports and just get rubbed out the way you're getting rammed through. Nonsense, fam. Like, fair nonsense that my team is coming with right now, and it kills me to say it, fam. Like, I was smiling on this thing, and then we started harping on about Arsenal, man. It's like, it's Jesus Christ, man. This is why I wanted to come on, to avoid all of that, man.
Nah, I hear you. And like man said, Ollie's backroom stuff's full of janitors. I don't know what I'm going for your backroom stuff, but he has got experience around him as well. That's why it's baffling me what going, bro. I don't understand what's going on at Arsenal. It's either this you sold me a dream, yeah, and he never wanted to play this attractive football that I thought he was gonna talk.
Yeah, his first press conference sold dreams, bro.
Bruv, this man was talking about angles and all these things. And that, blood. He was talking all of that, bro. He was talking about the whole geometry set, blood. I thought I was gonna see some mad football, yeah.
The PR was mad.
We were so complacent, and that's where like you said, Rants, I agree. I think I shagged myself. I thought everyone could see we needed to pattern up defensively last season, so I thought attack is a given. Once he does couple things, has a pre-season, it'll be a given. And I'm like you, Rants, in the sense of now, because I'm not seeing, because you've been here 10 months, I'm not asking for it to be elite. I have to assume what I'm seeing is your design now. It's not an accident. I do feel if you had different players and all of these things, it could be different, but I need to see what you're on to make it as white and black as bringing different players in. I don't know what he's on. I don't know what the backroom staff are on. I don't know truly what Arteta is on. You know, he's still talking about scoring 90 to 100 goals and things like that. Evidently, we need better players, but there's no coincidence. Not a single attacking player since the last time I was here is excelling. You know, that's down to the players, but that is down to your design. Like, no one is banging goals. You're looking at someone like to say.
I say the same thing about Arsenal. I say about Man United. You're better than what we're seeing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that you have all the tools in the box, but you have better players in your squad to be putting out better performances than you're doing. Arsenal act like they got some dead attack. You got Aubameyang, got someone that guarantees you 30 goals every season. You got, you signed Pepe for 72 million. Do you know what I mean? He was looking good at Lille. Do you know what I mean? You have to find a way to get the best out of him. You can't spend, Arsenal of all teams with how tight Stan moves. You don't spend 72 million on a player. I don't think it was Arteta signing, but still, you don't spend 72 million on a player and not do something with him. You have to get something out of him.
Like we can't. I think Arteta likes him, but I don't think he truly rates him like your first name on the team sheet in relation to Pepe. But you've got to get more of a tune out of him. And Willian, you know, he's annoying me for himself because he is doing a lot of speaking off the field. But on it, you know, when you hear some of what he said about how he's playing different tactics, I don't think Willian's a world beater. But I have to consider, on one hand, you're not excelling because you're playing poorly. But there's tactics when they're telling you to get back and stuff. And I think one of Arteta's problems is a handbrake. You know, Willian comes on, he's on playing like a right back. You've lost Partey, but that's another handbrake. We know he can go forward a bit, but there's a handbrake. You're going 5 at the back. That's why even I have to question his game management now, because anytime he's gone against a credible manager this season, for me, he struggled. With all, I'm not going to disrespect anyone in the Prem, but Scott Parker and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they're not levels. It's not a thing. You should be able to beat them. In game, he's failed against Rodgers. He's failed against Bielsa. He's even failed against a Dean Smith who's been at his team for a while. So if you're failing against them, if this was a video game, you're going against the final boss on Sunday against Jose Mourinho. He's failed himself in that regards. That's what's concerning me in a sense. The new excuse a lot of fans are now saying is he needs better players. He's not. I get it that he was at Pep. You know, you could say the Pep thing because, you know, Pep would probably struggle with us, but he's not going to get that. He needs to get a tune out of some of these players. I'm more vexed at the players, but you can't. I don't like how man was so quick to praise Arteta last season and then not asking any question marks of him in a fair way. Like you said, I think he sold me a dream in terms of the attack. You know, that 17-18 pass move that we're scoring goals with, I thought that was a given. We ain't even doing that this year. We're not even defending convincingly. Like, there's no system. You know, you was a midfielder and these players are dead and you have to use them. But why is the midfield so open? Why is there? You've played both roles in your career as a midfielder. You can see what Lampard wants to do as a midfielder. He wants players to a slight degree like him. He understands, I played with Makelele. I need a Kante. I don't see how every player is solving a piece of the jigsaw. And he's spoken about the lack of specialists, but bro, he's just moving mad. He's just moving mad. Like, he's doing mad stuff as well. It's the only way to put it.
Yeah, like this brother said, bro, it's one thing knowing what you want, but bro, if you can't implement it, it's just ideas, bro. Like, you have to credit coaches by how they implement their ideas, their philosophies, innit? Right now, looking at him, I can't see what he's trying to do, bro. Not at all, bro, because defensively, yeah, you're conceding less goals, but none of your attackers are playing well because of him. And I can't see what he's doing to change it, because I watched the next game and that man were crying, oh, Aubameyang needs to play down the middle. Played him through the middle, same shit.
Nothing's going in different.
Nothing changed, blood.
You can't just change the formation and suddenly everything's changed. You need to work on something in the week up to the game. Like, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. And like it's two things then. I have to question your communication then, because don't get twisted. Some of these players are poor, but same way, you know, he was making Mustafi look good last season. You know, you got a tune out of them. You was able to communicate to them some way. So what's your communication like with them now? How are you not able to communicate what you want? If I was there, maybe it's a thing where you're telling them everything that we're sitting here and saying, and they're messing it up. But as a fan, I'm never going to see that. To answer this comment, Willian just thinks of comfortability. I don't think he wants to play poor, but he's got his deal. He's playing every week. You know, Nelson and them man there might not be the answer, but Nelson ain't getting a look in. Pepe got sent off. You know, it's just bare comfortability. You know, if it worked, we would have been saying, yeah, it's a smart move, but I'm not seeing the experienced man that's supposed to come here. He's looking like the 19-year-old, and Saka's looking like someone that's won the Premier League at Chelsea and the rest of it.
Taking Willian, a player who wanted to stay at Chelsea, but he wanted a stupid contract that we were never going to give him, which was the length, 3 years. A player that's been at our club for 7-8 years, got serious loyalty and ties to our club. A player that owns a restaurant with David Luiz and just wants to continue with the
Brazilian man at Arsenal as well.
So take him to Arsenal and expect him to turn up for you, man, when he wasn't even turning up for us on a consistent basis in the final third, is nuts. And I tried to warn everyone. I said, this guy is so not what you need right now. It's just not, because you guys are going to expect some sort of Brazilian flair and masterclass and all of this. You're not going to get it, bro. He is going to drop single digits for goals and assists,
bro.
combined. He always does it.
See with Willian, I'm not even looking at the assist now. I just wanted you to. I thought at worst comes to worst with Willian, he's gonna get in behind, do a dribbling, and he's gonna pass when he needs to shoot when he needs to cross, and just be stupid in terms of his decision. He looks timid, he looks tired, like he just looks rubbed. Like I want Willian to prove me wrong, but there's no coincidence. The man has not. He's got 3 assists in 11 games or something. Now 2 of them assists came on the first game of the season. Fair play, he's got that goal by default. I mean that assist by default against Wolves, but Willian is mad. And for me, again, he's just playing every week, man. Like, he's just playing every week. And for me, when you're playing poorly and you're playing every week, what onus is there for you to improve? That's why I don't mind Nelson. It could be hit and miss with Nelson. He might play a stinker. But just so if Willian plays the next week, and I'm not expecting a madness, he thinks, okay, cool, I might lose my spot now. I've got to fix up. It's just too comfy right now, man.
Do you know what it is with Willian, right? Is that he has secured the bag. You man have offered him a big contract on 3 years. You don't do that with these plus 30-year-olds. Reason 1, he now has no reason to play. Like, he has no reason to add that extra bit of sauce and seasoning that you're talking about. There's no need. He's got the contract. He ain't going anywhere. This is Ozil's situation to the point where Ozil's different because he's not being used. But when you've got the contract, just sit comfy. Do you know what I mean? He's already won the trophies he wants to win. He's already had the career he wants to have. And you, man, have seen the way he's played for us in the last season, which is, for me, his best Chelsea season. And it still wasn't good enough. Why was he playing like that? Because he was fighting for a contract. That's why. Because he had the motivation to get up out of bed and say, shit, I ain't got a contract. I need to start playing.
He's him doing up Puma now. So he's just getting bag. Like,
he don't need it now. Because you, brother, just said, you're like a loose gal. You just open up your legs and just let any man in.
He probably trains at Chelsea. It wouldn't surprise me if he still turns up at Chelsea for trading.
Yeah, you man are just moving like Adebayor. That man only play in the last year of their contract. You know them. That's how they do. That man just chill.
And now you got him for 3 years, and you ain't gonna be able to. Sheg him. Like, he's not. Look, we tried at Chelsea to get rid of him for the longest. Barcelona kept teasing us, "Oh, we'll take him, but you're not really gonna." And then Chelsea, for some reason, valued him so much they wouldn't sell him for the 40 bags or whatever. For me, great value for money. And then now you're in a situation where the modern game is goals and output. The modern game is output at the end of the pitch. He ain't got output. Ain't nobody coming in for this brother with all the young ballers on the market. It's not happening. Everybody looks to buy young now, get resale value, invest in the youth, invest in the future. Now, you're right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I'm preaching because I've seen it, I've lived it, I've suffered it. And now I'm seeing you, man, suffering. And I'm like, you know the ones where you get stabbed and it's like, yo, don't go to that hood because it can get rough. And then you, man, just go walk into the alleyway with all the money, and you get moved to. It's like, did you not hear what I just said?
You know what, Arsenal, we're the kings of there's a fire there, putting our hands in there. Oh shit, it burns. Oh shit, it burns. I really shouldn't put my hand in there. Oh shit, it burns. We never learn, man. We never learn. We just keep doing that. And it's like, for me, what I don't understand about a club that's supposed to be self-sustaining, you're not doing things that are self-sustaining. Exactly. Obviously, sometimes you're not getting top dollar. You're not doing the Chelsea thing for young players to reinvest. Sometimes when you spend cheap, you get what you pay for, like Paulo Marie and what's his face, Cedric. I'm not getting at them. We know there's been injuries and whatnot, but they've been registered and not played a minute of Premier League football. Then you've got the Ozil business. What's happening there? What did either player do to justify making it permanent? You know, Marie's out here playing under 23s games last Friday. What is going on? Cedric's what's going on? You know, it's just comfortability. It's just poor decision making on and off the field. It's just reactive decision making. You know, Willian doesn't scream a proactive summer to me. You scream about longevity and stability, and even Arteta, that comments he's been making about players who could score 90 to 100 goals. You don't get Willian. You know, I hear all of this Prem experience and all of this, but the fundamental thing is that's only relevant if you're good. And Willian's not that. Like, Willian's not that. And this is why we're going to suffer. And this is why probably like a year from now, I'm going to be here. This same message is going to be there, but just with my name and not Matisse's. Like, we're pissed, man.
They didn't do a mentality check before they signed this brother, because I knew he was going to flop.
The Brazilian link up, man.
I knew it was going to happen.
Most of them Brazilian Donnies are just there for vibes only, fam. Like, how many of these Donnies have actually come to the Premier League and done anything, bro? Let's be real, innit? With the most respect, because, man, I love my Brazilians, blood. Man lives in Hausen, there's bare of them here, innit? And I've got bare Brazilian friends. But let's be honest. You see when them man make it out from where they've come from, them man don't care, innit?
It's Amigos thing. So why
let's be honest, innit? Like, even when man got gassed, Robinho's got Man City. This brother thought he signed for Man United.
He's on the party thing.
He thought he signed for Man United, bro. Man said, I'm happy to be in Manchester, blood. And then he found out that he wasn't at Man United. Like, while he was already there.
Oh,
I don't know who signed I think his agent signed a contract for him.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that you link up. Like, I understand wanting to get friendships and whatnot in a team, but you get the right one. So even the Declan Rice, Mason Mount situation, I can see there's a motivation. They want to play for Chelsea. Declan Rice can't stop doing propaganda for Chelsea. They want to win trophies. There's a strive for greatness. There's something to prove. People don't rate Declan. So if he comes, he's going to try and do a madness. There's something there. You can see a value in a friendship coming together at a club, and it's actually going to be doing something for you. Who looks at Willian and David Luiz and says, oh, they've got a restaurant, let's put them man together and see what they can do? What?
It's not even
at the end of their careers, when they've already bagged trophies. What?
They're just damaged goods. Like, they're just damaged goods. For me, it's just with David Luiz, you know what, he's an accident. For Willian, you know it's not a thing. It's just like, this isn't screaming a club making this.
Bro, them man both went to you, man. They both went to you for money. Let's call it what it is.
It's not for the challenge, and like they say, oh, it's a challenge and experienced team, and it's a new era, and it's exciting. And Willian saying we can win the Premier League, bro. Willian is probably being copied and pasted something to say in the field. They don't believe none of that. None of that.
You know who you got linked with? Oscar. You know the brother in the Chinese league that used to play for us.
At this rate,
you need a 10, bro.
At this rate, you might as well do it, because
they tried it. Bro, I saw the propaganda coming from a mile away. Willian and Luiz are asking Oscar if he wants to join Arsenal. I said to myself, if you back this man as well, you man have lost the plot.
We'll probably try to sign Ronaldinho now. It will not surprise me. It won't surprise me. Yeah. Probably try to get Adriano. Like, it won't surprise me if we do this, man. We're just doing the mazza. And like that comment said, you know, I don't mind. I'm not going to say I'm happy to get into bed with agencies and stuff, and definitely not on a funny man thing. But in relation to that, yeah, it's that Mendes thing works because they're good players. You know, we're getting dead players, people that are past it. When you ain't got peas, you can't go to Kaya Drupkin. I want your top clients. I want your good players. It's not working like that. You're getting his basement bargains. That's why our agent link up is dead. Like,
have you ever clocked? Prem never get real Brazilians. We don't get the Ronaldinhos, the Ronaldos, the Kakas. We always get these off-brand, you know what I mean, Tesco value type dons who they're not really Brazilian. They've got something else in their genes.
Hunger ones like Fernandinho and Gilberto Silva. You get the ones that are hungry for success, that don't want to go back to a certain sort of
life.
You
don't get the flair ones, innit?
Yeah.
You don't get the flair ones. You get the butters ones. That's what man get, fam. That's what man get. Man don't get the wave Brazilians. Man don't get the Neymars. You know what I mean? Man don't get those blood. You know what I mean? You get the dead ones, bro. Like the Adus and that. You know, like that. It stinks, bro. Like, man don't really get them. Man just get the workhorse ones. You know, the ones that don't really get. Them man have to stand in the long queue for their Brazilian passport.
Yeah, for me, the only one off the top of my head I can legitimately think of. That's, you know, Silky and that.
Bruv, that's it, bro. Like, you got Bobby Firmino, yeah, and bruv, Robinho came, yeah, and he said, yo, blood, right, rain's here, this is long. And dipped. Are you mad?
Hey, Martinelli, though. Let's plug Martinelli.
Bruv, listen, yeah. But Martinelli, look, he plays like a hungry youth, yeah. But as soon as he, bruv, listen, you'll have one breakthrough season and he's twerking for Barca, blood.
Yeah, I know he's off.
These man, this is what they do, fam. I'm telling you, Robinho come, man was rolling the ball under his foot. As soon as he needed to wear studs, he was like, all right, cool, man's done with this now. This is long, innit? The summertime, it was nice.
Coutinho is the only one. Coutinho is the only one that tried to do the Brazilian thing here. The rest of them was like, nah, bro. I'm not feeling it.
Costa come in, he wanted out, blood. He's
maybe
like,
it's us.
My G.
We speak about it all the time. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's the English vibe that just makes them start doing all the run thing. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we suck that energy out of them.
They don't want to do it.
That's why Di Maria wanted to bust out as well. It's like, it's all mad in England. Like, it's all off the field, man. They're not on it. It's not really worth it for them, man. That's why Spain, and that's more attractive. Look at Torreira. You know, a lot of reasons he failed is off the field. He couldn't settle, didn't want to learn the language. He's not actually playing too tough for Atletico. I know he's had Corona, but he's happy there. What does he keep saying? Oh, there's Uruguay man here. You know, I speak the native language in Spain. That's what people forget, how like the social aspect of football. you know. And even looking at Liverpool, how much of having Firmino away from them being good did it help Fabinho and obviously Alisson in coming to the club, because it's a little link up. I don't know what the Merseyside clubs do, but they seem to be convincing the decent Brazilians to stay and play.
It's true, bro. That's what it is, bro. Like, there's too many cultural things why they don't settle here. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the language, whether it's the weather, whether it's the food. And all these brethrens are like, there, bro. That's it. Man saw the grey clouds. Imagine coming from Brazil, and then bucking Manchester. Bro, I'm from London, and bro,
I don't even go to Manchester like that.
Bro, bruv, when I go games and that, as soon as that wind slaps your hood off your head, you know what it is. It's mad. Man doing fan cams, boom, hood's gone. I'm like, bruv, what? Around Christmas time, it's a myth, blood. So if you're coming from Brazil, I can understand where man say Lawi.
You know that, mad confused.
This like, mad you even coming, bruv. If you're coming from London,
what's that breeze? What's going on here?
It's mad for you. You get me? So man understands it. So either man come for the top money on a mercenary thing, like the likes of like Robinho, like the Mycons and that.
When did he come from? Who was that? Man City? Oh my god!
Yeah, bruv. To slap a
quick, hey, that's a throwback.
Just a massive lead.
Hey, bruv, man come in for a quick little fraud thing and then they're gone. It's for the top P's, blood. That's the only way. That's why they man go Ukraine as well. Them man are not going Ukraine for the weather.
Throwback.
Do you think man are going Shakhtar for the weather, blood? And the nice food.
That's the first route. That's the first route into England. I mean, into Europe.
Zenit Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah.
That's why they're on it.
Man are going there for the potatoes and the free bananas that get dashed at them.
Yeah, look at Malcolm, how he was whoring himself out for every club from Bordeaux. You know, he's whoring himself out to Arsenal, to Spurs. He goes Barca, then he ends up at Zenit. That's just someone on a peace thing. You know, he just sees it as a movie. Like, it's all a movie. You know, from where I come from, it can't get any worse than this. Like once said, we're just like kids playing in the rain. It's not that deep. I can't even blame them. Like, it's not that deep. Paulinho, he was playing everywhere. Man went, you know, I swear he went Barca and then China in a couple. Yeah, safe.
It's a movie.
It's a movie,
bro. Trust me, it's a money thing, innit? And I can't blame them because a lot of these men are coming from absolutely nothing. But then, when man are 30 and whatever, they're not hungry, bro. So why are you putting them on peas in the first place? You know what I'm saying? If man's belly ain't rumbled in about 15 years, you don't need to give man no 3-year contract.
And that's what it is with Arsenal. We're just feeding the fam, man. It's Edu just nice in the mandem, just nice in the client.
Handshake, my brother.
Round envelopes. Everyone's just getting spotted right now. Like, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, Oscar's next, bro. I'm telling you, I can see it already. You need a creative midfielder.
Oscar, I'm crying.
You need a creative midfielder, Oscar.
Moving like we're going to get Rato at this rate, man. I can't lie to you.
Man saying he might just pull Rivaldo out of retirement and
he might score more goals than Lacazette. Bring him, man. Can't even lie. I'm gonna save Aubameyang, but boy,
I liked Oscar too, but when you go to China, don't think you're coming back here and doing anything. You know what I mean? You've been on holiday. You've been on holiday collecting cash. It's not happening. The same with Pato. When these men choose to go to China and finish their career, don't talk to us again about Prem. It's not happening. You're not doing a revamp. It's not happening. In Prem, he was just about good enough. Because by the way, Oscar's painted as this like super Chelsea, like he scores all these like mad goals. He had text, right? He had text, but he wasn't consistent. Don't get it twisted. If Oscar was in this new day and age right now with this Twitter, Oscar would have
been cooking Oscar, fam.
Oscar got it light because Oscar was not consistent. People talk about Oscar because he's and Chelsea fans do this a lot because we have these moments, these clutch moments that stick out in our brains. The Torres goal against Barca, now suddenly Torres was consistent. The Oscar goal against Juventus, now suddenly Oscar was consistent. No, and no. This didn't run. He was not consistent. He was dropping up and down performances. And if he was doing that in his prime, don't think he's doing a China thing and then coming back and then ripping leagues. It's not happening. They signed Oscar. That just goes like when you was chasing Hour and then you're going for Oscar. Come on, you already know something's gone left.
Yeah, so, that's panic and peace. Two things that
panic and peace.
100%, bro.
Nothing else.
You know what I'm saying? A man said he went there for the peas. He don't care, blood. He said my family are never gonna be broke again, fam.
Can't blame him.
I can't blame man.
That's on YRN stuff.
I would do the same.
You know
what I mean? Family come first. Because football is a fickle game, man. 1 minute the fans love you, next minute they don't. 1 minute the manager's playing you like Ozil, next minute you're out the team. Football's too fickle to be caring about people's feelings. If I'm a footballer and I see China, I'm seeing the bills and I'm gone. Do you know what I mean? Unless I'm a baller who's picking up like Messi and Neymar contracts, I'm gone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Feed the fam.
Yeah, trust me. You would have catch man in the Middle East. I don't care, bruv.
I'd have been out the Chinese for everyone.
Bruv, peas, blood. Peas. That's what man's taking in. So now I get it, but it's not a good business model, yeah, recruiting them kind of players, bro.
Facts. Yeah.
It's not. Do you know what I mean? So Adu doing this little favors thing, it might even... Bruv, he might even be the guy that needs to be replaced, blood.
Yeah, he might lose his thing because of that, you know. And he even what concerns me more is that on one hand, you know, we're focusing on this and talking about this, but he streamlined the club. He has said specifically, we need more specialists. When we, you know, more things need to run specifically through me. So, you know, you're taking on more responsibility, and it's always dangerous when there's one man doing that. That concerns me as well, because you haven't really seen the project at Arsenal. You've seen this Edu thing, you saw the Raul thing, then obviously had Michelin type. We thought we was going to try do this Dortmund whatnot. You never get it. It's like every couple of years we switch it up. We're the kings of unfinished projects. We're doing it right now with these young players. We've done it with Ox and that little batch, and we'll be here to do it again if we don't change our ways. It's long, man.
No, nothing but facts. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. You got a novice director of football. You got a novice manager.
It's long.
You got bare novices. Do you know what I'm saying? And you've got players that are below par as well. Like, how can man really expect to be operating at the top level when you've got no experience, bruv, no know-how?
Just in the wrong thing.
And the thing is, it's different for Chelsea because we've got novice in positions. Petr Cech, he's never been a director of football before, but we've got guys that really understand the game because they played it, and they understand the club because they were at it. But also, we spent peas. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? We had the money because we recouped it, but we spent it. Do you know what I mean? We bought in ballers, and that's what you got to do. If you're gonna go with novice and you're gonna go with first timers, you got to bring in your Thiago Silvas. You can't be bringing in your you got, like I said, the mentality check. You can't be bringing in your Williams. You got to bring in Thiago Silva. Never been in the league, kind of like a Zlatan thing. Motivation to win it. Wants to win the Premier League for the first time. He's coming in 36, talking like he's a 26-year-old. That's what you need.
And you see what that is, Vitties? You see what that is? You know, what you just mentioned was spot on, and it all goes to the people above check or levels. You've got Marina. Why does that Maria woman always bust balls and do the best business? Because she demands excellence. Why? Because the man at the top is not accepting anything less. He's writing checks. He's coming to you. Kroenke, you know, he's got his little minions. You're seeing all the footage and whatnot come out and stuff. All the knowledge how he's got Tim Lewis, and long story short, it just sounds like he's got his 2 lieutenants plus his son on the ground at Arsenal. They'll just tell him if a mad thing's happening. He don't care. We've seen the propaganda piece come out in The Athletic, how he cares more, how he's actually went to 14 games last season. He's not a presence. And when he's not an actual presence, and then you've got the other people who don't know what they're doing, man are just left to their own devices, you know? Like, it's probably the occasional Zoom call. When you don't see that presence, like Roman Abramovich, you can tell on a random day, he might not tell no one. He'll pop up at Cobham. Might be 9 a.m. first session. He'll just pop up. Man, no, fix up. He's that presence. He's looming. You don't, if you can't see Stan Kroenke, if you don't see Josh, you don't really care. Like,
it's needed though.
It's a joke thing. We need it, but until that man sells the club, it's a myth, and he ain't gonna do that. Car, he uses us as collateral. Go and look at the LA Rams. You type them in on Google, they're winning stuff. They're doing well. You know, he's at them grounds. That tells you everything. Like, we're just used for them dreams.
I always link this stuff back to the real world. If you're at a job and you're used to the same mundane faces every day, you know, the same boss, the same guys walking through the door, you start to slack off if things, if there's no strive to be the best and results are not coming in, you start to slack off as an employee. Then when the director of the company comes in, you best believe everybody's tying up their tires and telling you sit up straight. That's what happens. That's what you need. You need the owner to step in sometimes and come in and look about the place. You don't even need to say nothing. His mere presence, that's the man paying your wages. The mere presence.
Apparently, he's only spoke a couple of times to Arteta. You know, apparently he didn't even speak to Aubameyang. Like, I read the article. Like, he didn't speak to Aubameyang when he signed the new deal. If that's Roman Abramovich, you know he's going and shaking Tammy's hand or whoever it is. You know he's taking all them pictures. You know, I'm not going to say Roman Abramovich is probably a phone call away, but he genuinely strikes me as he will call up a player on a random thing and say, "How do you think you played today?" You need to. When you hear that, you know it's long. You know, Stan doesn't know his players. Like, does he even know Arteta's name? Probably calls him Michael or something, man. It's a joke, man. Like,
Mike. Well,
on,
Mike.
yeah, the Louis van Gaal thing. He don't know Arteta's name. He said,
absolute facts, bruv. That killed me. Man said Mike. Nah, man. Big up everyone in the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's been lit. Man, them are back. And yeah, bruv. Make sure you follow the man them. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click the link in the title. Make sure you subscribe to both of the man them's channels. And also come over to Twitch. Follow man on Twitch. I'm getting my thing patterned up tomorrow as well. My flipping Streamlabs. So yeah, like Twitch is gonna be going crazy, blood. It's gonna be going very crazy, man. Big up everyone that's interacted with the show. Mandem, if there's anything you wanna plug, if you got any shows coming up later or whatever.
Nah, really, so it's just the YouTube as per usual. Obviously the at's already there. Just did a stream with Elizabeth. If you guys want to check it out, go for it. It's a 6 stream. And yeah, that's it really. You know what I mean? Content on a daily thing now. Yeah, life as a Chelsea fan's good, isn't it? So if you want to see just happiness, then come.
I can't guarantee happiness, but yeah, man, I did a stream earlier. I'll be doing a watch along for our Europa League game, and yeah, like Rant said, just hit the title link if you want to subscribe, and the rest of it, man. There ain't nothing else to say on that note.
There you go. So big up everyone inside. If you're watching on YouTube as well, make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you smash the like. Let us know where you're watching from. The usual. And yeah, I'm back streaming on Twitch. Well, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and then I'll be back on, guys, anyway. So you man will see it. Man's on the career mode thing, bruv. Top of the league and that, doing my thing. Nice. You get me? So now big up everyone. Know what I'm saying? And then I'm back tonight here at 7 o'clock with Flawless as well to talk more about the game yesterday. And another Red Talk, guys. So 7 p.m. man will catch